Carlo Brennan here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And we're going to have a little look at a festival that we're going to. A day festival. It is, of course, Slam Dunk 2024. Following on the perceived disaster from last year, there's been some major changes to the setup, and I don't know if that's reflected in a lineup that feels a little underwhelming when you contrast it to last year. Put it this way, folks, I don't care if it's their final UK festival. Yumi at Six feels slightly a lot smaller than Enter Shikari and The Offspring. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for me. But I
But
don't know. I guess if you're a diehard fan of them, maybe not.
it is that. Here's the thing. Like I've had this conversation with Dan several times over, where it's like, just because the lineup is really weak for us, it's someone's dream lineup. Like, that's
Yeah.
how these things work. It really isn't. But I have been quite surprised by this year's Slam Dunk, in the sense that we've kind of always committed to Slam Dunk, aside from it being a nice big group, family, friends thing, and a day out in the sun, and lovely, just a cool environment.
Yeah.
But we've always kind of been confident that there would be enough across the festival day to see, including lots of stuff that you may not normally and certainly wouldn't pay to see off your own back, but you'd see them at a festival. This year's lineup is, putting out there for me, I know, and I know it's for you as well, the weakest Slam Dunk lineup we could have ever had. Like, it is genuinely difficult to create a day out of it.
Yeah, I
That's what
mean,
it is.
I vocally have complained, like even in previous lineups that others have felt were strong. I've still struggled,
Mm.
but like usually there's like I don't know. I can usually get 3 or 4 bands. I'm like, oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing them, and then there's at least some intrigue. Whereas this time, that's all kind of halved. It's like I haven't even got 3 or 4 that I'm really looking forward to, and there's not an awful lot of intrigue. And truth be told, if I was going to this for music reasons alone, it wouldn't be worth the money. If it wasn't for the fact that we have a good group of us, family, friends, kids, summer, sunshine, hopefully, and it's in London. It's the package, I guess, that sells it, the festival environment,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping, and I'm sure there will. I'm hoping that I'm gonna stumble across stuff I like, you know, because I'm just not looking at it and going, oh, I'll go there and then I go there. No, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. I'm looking at it and going, well, what time are they on? I'll come at 7 at night. Start then, you know.
Yeah, so you might wonder, well, why are we even doing a video on it then? Well, we're going to pick some bands out. We're going to pick some bands out that not necessarily we're looking forward to seeing, but bands that we're like, you know what, I probably will go out of my way to check them out, and elements like that. A handful of bands that we can point at and say, well, we are going to likely go and see this band while we're there. So do you want to get started with one that you can see?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna try and stay like as close to the smaller stuff as I can for now. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying. I know who they are, but I can't see them on the poster. I'm just trying, so I don't know how big they are. Oh my God, where are you? Sorry, their posters, as you know, are also difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. Oh my God, they're actually bigger than I thought. I thought they were going to be in tiny letters. Okay, I'll just go with them anyway. The band called The Ghost Inside.
Oh, the Ghost Inside, yes. There they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at all the small ones because I thought they were smaller than that, but they're actually quite far up. But maybe that's quite a telling thing in terms of what we were talking about, the lineup that's been booked, and that band that we would expect maybe to be opening smaller stages are like 2 or 3 from the top.
Mm.
But I don't know an awful lot about this band, is the truth. For what I've done over the last couple of weeks is I've pulled a load of the bands that I don't know onto a playlist, and I've been playing a few tracks from each band to try and see if there's anything that interested me. And there's 2 tracks from this band that I put on there, just random, don't know what I'm doing. I picked a song called Death Grip and a song called Wash It Away, and I liked them both. I thought, oh, this is really good.
Okay.
More on the metal side, so I was quite happy about that too. So yeah, there you go, The Ghost Inside.
Good start. Absolutely. I actually really don't know. I don't think I know them at all, really. But that's a damn good idea. I might actually do that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
just do 2
Um,
random. So when you go in your music thing and it's like these are the top songs of the band, I just choose the top 2 every time,
Bob, Bob.
put them in.
Cool. All right. Mine is Guilt Trip. I'll start with Guilt Trip, a band I'm slightly less looking forward to, because I'm actually going to end up seeing this band a few days, a week or two before Slam Dunk. Originally, I was going to see Slam Dunk, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Guilt Trip go hard. and it's going to be on quite early in the day as well. So it'll be a nice start to the festival, kind of like how Static Dress was last year for us and things like that. But I'm seeing Guilt Trip support Landmarks on the 16th, so it'll maybe not quite as much fun. But I know others are looking forward to seeing Guilt Trip, and it'll be a nice start to the day, nice heavy, chaotic kind of start, because there's not loads of these sort of bands on this lineup, so it's kind of nice to have one. So yeah, Guilt Trip for me.
Yeah, I would choose them as well, but I won't second anything here other than say that yeah, that probably would have been one of mine.
Cool.
Off the cuff completely. But the band The Skints.
Oh,
Seen them before, weirdly enough. Actually, I think you would have been with us because it was at one of those Fireball uh shows that they used to do at Brixton Academy, you know, like with 4 or 5 of the sort of, well, kind of slammed up bands basically.
yeah, we saw, less than, like Less Than Jake did it one year and so
Yeah.
on, and
And they kind of like, remember that really terrible pop band, The Streets? The
no,
kind of
but Streets, God, that's a dumb name.
yeah, they were like a kind of like really terrible pop band, but like a rap, and you'd probably know like famous like stuff from the song. There was like a song like "You're Fit, but my gosh, don't you know it," and all that
Oh,
sort of
is it
stuff.
them?
No, it's not them. No, no, no. Sorry, that's nothing to do with the Skints at all. But what I was getting at is that they kind of reminded me of like a version of that, but with a bit more rhythm and a bit scarred up. You know, it's like a band from the streets of London and all that sort of stuff. I find them quite interesting to watch musically. I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan, but I know my missus likes them a lot and Rose likes them a lot. And I find them quite interesting to watch. So I'm like, oh, cool, let's go and check them out.
Fair enough. I like it. I like it. Kind of sticking to the heavier side to a degree as everything unfolds. Would probably be one I want to check out. Yeah, they're good metal. It's post-hardcore. It's got melody. They're a strong band at a festival. I feel like they're going to get a nice bit of energy going. Yeah, I think as everything unfolds, will be again similar to like Guilt Trip. Just that heavier music that I want.
Mm, that's good. I don't think I know an awful lot about them, so maybe I should check them out.
Hmm.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I'm struggling already.
Yeah.
Purely for the fact that I don't think I ever have, I'm probably quite reasonably interested in seeing Pennywise.
Yeah,
Um,
I second
Musically
that.
fun live, you know, bouncy beers in by that point, you know. I know a few songs by them, been around a long time, so I don't think I've ever seen them. I haven't been to enough slam dunks or anything like that to have caught them here before. So yeah, if there's nothing else on that interests me at that point, which is quite possible, you know, I think I'll go and watch some of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not a bucket list band because they're not on my bucket list because I don't care enough.
Hmm.
But obviously a legendary name that I should probably at least check out as I'm, it's not unless the chances they're clashing with one of the few bands that I really do want to see. It's I'm gonna check them out
Yeah.
absolutely. Bit of metalcore in that regard. Caskets. Caskets are cool. Yeah, not the biggest fan, not the most interested as well. But again, these bands are on quite early on the days, so it's kind of like let's start this off and then lead towards the more, I don't know, later on in the evening, the anthemic pop punk stuff that maybe I'm more familiar with and grew up with. So I can definitely see, particularly as Caskets are playing like after as everything unfolds, it could be a nice little stage to hang around on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not massively familiar with them to be honest with you. So, uh, but if it's metalcore, then I'm sure I'm happy to check it out. I mean,
Yes.
the reality for me now is even from an intrigue perspective,
Mm.
outside of getting to names that are bigger, I don't really have a lot. So I'm gonna have to start on them. But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go for the first one, which would be Water Parks. Good band, good energy, I would imagine. Live, I haven't seen them live. I don't think. No, I haven't.
Uh,
So yeah, that's my first one of the I've got a big font.
Yeah, you're at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, water parks, are definitely like if you were to say me top three bands, you're going to go out and way to see water parks are there. Yeah, I do want to see water parks too. I quite like them. I'm going to jump up to one of the bigger ones as well, because, you know, we are trying to keep this briefer, really, more than anything else. I think I would like to check out a bit of Asking Alexandria. I don't think I've ever seen them live at any festival I've ever been at. I'm not the biggest fan, but I did like their last album. I reviewed it kind of positively and said, like, you know, I mean, this is just nice, catchy music. Vocalist is great. Um, yeah, it'd be cool to sort of say, well, I've seen Asking Alexandria live now, and either I like it or I won't.
Yeah, I have very little opinion on them, to be honest with you. For me, it's like who's playing at that point. I can't watch anybody probably.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, with them, it's just like a name that's been around for a long time, but I don't think I've ever really listened to them, or definitely would never have classed myself as a fan. So, but know the name. Um,
Yes.
and then for me, really, the number one band on the list for why I want to be there and why I'm going is the Interrupters. Bit of a, I don't know what the word for it is, epiphany kind of moment maybe with them
Mm,
a couple of years back, when they played on what was probably the strongest slam dunk lineup that I'd been to, where we had those Dropkick Murphys, Sum 41.
yeah.
There's a lot happening that year. Um, didn't really know them beforehand. You did. You championed them. We watched them first festival with my daughter. She's been like a dedicated diehard fan of them ever since. I think they're awesome. So yeah, we're really excited to see them again, to be honest. So that's our number one, my number one.
Similar to Avatar, your interest in Interrupters has surpassed my interest these days. But I'm looking forward to it because it will be fun, and that's more than enough. But I'm going to bring up the band that I care about the most here. The one band that I am like, see them, don't care what else is playing anywhere else. I've seen the stage clashes, so there's no excuse that I can see that everybody should be there as well, because it is Sing Along City. Because I may be nearly 40, but there are still bands here from my youth. It is Funeral for a Friend. Now, it has been diminished by obviously the original singer no longer being in the band. I can't remember who just said it's going to be doing vocals, but I know it's from another band. Is it from, oh, for some reason,
Flick, Danny Filth, innit?
that would add a new touch to it. But listen, it's a Funeral for a Friend set at a festival, so it's Anthem fucking City. It was awesome. My first slam dunk in the North in Leeds. Funeral for a Friend played there, and I loved every minute of it. So I am really stoked to see Funeral for a Friend again. I have just constant positive memories associated with Funeral for a Friend. First, I've got obviously slam dunk a few years ago in the North. Me and Dan, first time we ever went, that was post-COVID, and they'd moved it to September. And that was just great. But I've also got a much earlier memory, a way earlier memory. We'll go back like 15 years here. I saw Funeral for a Friend in the Electric Ballroom. Me, my wife, Louise, and our brother, Liam, in the Electric Ballroom around about Christmas time. It was December 16th or something like that. And they dropped snow, fake snow on us during a song moment. And it just
You're like a
sticks in the head. It's just
you're
so
like a
cool.
stalker, man. You've seen them enough.
It's just, yeah, I'm just glad, I'm just glad they're here because along, do you have any more?
I don't have any more. I wasn't going to call them out as a band that I'm interested in seeing, but it was only because, and then when you said that, because I think this is the only clash with Funeral for a Friend, isn't it? Don't they clash directly with All American Rejects?
Yes, that is the one clash.
Not from my perspective, because I care nothing for All American Rejects. I also would add that I care nothing for Funeral for a Friend, but I also care nothing for All American Rejects. But I know from some of the other people in my group, slightly younger than, well, everyone's younger than me, but like slightly younger than you as well, is that their era band is the All American Rejects side of things. Even though, as far as I can tell, that was only ever a thing for one song, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe there were others.
I think there's two,
I was there
technically
too.
two.
But yeah, no, I wasn't going to call them out of the band I'm looking forward to seeing or anything like that, because after the Interrupters for me, I'm fair game for anything. Is the truth. I've reached my pinnacle, and now it's just like, hey, let's go and check some stuff out. But yeah, it was only because you were like, oh, there's no excuse for going to that one, and then I was like, isn't that the one that clashes with the other band that people have been saying to me like, oh, you've got to come and see these.
Well, that'll be interesting then, and I guess call it on the day, because while I initially would have been like, you know what, I'll go see the All American Rejects because I know some of those songs, but I think this band sucks, and I thought they sucked back in the day. And that's it. I get how it's a nostalgic thing for some people, like the way it is for Funeral for a Friend. So absolutely no issue there. But the moment I saw it was clashing with Funeral for a Friend, I went, well, that's an easy decision for me to fucking make here. So to me, no interest at all. The Interrupters do clash partially with Yumi at 6. Now, while I don't particularly have any interest in seeing Yumi at 6, I will wander over there after the Interrupters because it's the final UK festival and might as well watch a little bit of it when there's nothing else on after that. Truth be told, that's how I'm kind of seeing it, just so I can say I've seen Yumi at 6.
No, I get that. I mean, I'm going to watch the Interrupters to the end, and I'm going to enjoy that. But I also, I mean, of all the bands at this festival, they care very little for. It's insane how little I care about Yumi at 6. However, they are playing. It is their final UK festival, so I've never watched them live. Maybe like I should reserve judgment and watch a bit of it. So I'm in the same boat as you. Like I don't see any reason why I wouldn't catch some of that show, you know, before the end. It's difficult to understand with this sometimes because obviously the way that Slam Dunk on their website line the lineup up. So Yumi at 6, we know like from previous years, right? So Yumi at 6 and I Prevail will be headlining at the same time. Is that?
No, I've just clicked on a tab. We missed it. Along the top, there's actually a tab that brings up the stage times, so it's a lot easier to frickin' read. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's 2050 for Yumi at 6, 2015 for I Prevail.
Oh, so yeah, so actually, yeah, the I Prevail. It's weird, don't they? All kind of half clash with each other.
Yeah, it's half clashes more because even All American.
So for me, it'll be Water Park straight into the Interrupters then.
2045. Yeah, you'll have to leave Water Parks early though to see it.
Yeah, and then go across for the start of Interrupters. So actually,
that's all right though. Water Parks are playing for an hour, so you're probably not going to watch a full hour.
No, that's all good. That works for me. That's fine. It was just I was looking at it, I was thinking, I wonder if because when you look at it in the other poster, I was like, oh, will I be able to see what I Prevail are like? But actually, then when you look at it with the stage lineups, it's the answer because they literally play during Water Parks and the Interrupters.
Yep. Looking at that, then our day will probably start off with as Everything Unfolds, 11:40. They're the first little band in that bottom row that's got my attention. Yeah. Potentially followed by Caskets, and then maybe over to Guilt Trip on the Key Club. Yeah, okay. All right. Seeing it that way makes so much more sense. Interrupters.
Actually, see, when you see it like that, you can, right. We said at the beginning that it's difficult to work a day out from it, but when you see it now with the stage times and everything on there, like including the bands that you said, if I wasn't taking a gap, I can work a day out of that. You've got like Everything Unfolds, and the band you brought up was Caskets. Then I've got Guilt Trip, The Skints, The Ghost Inside, Pennywise, Water Parks, Interrupters, bit of Yumi at 6. Job done.
Check that shit out. That's a day, man.
We did it. We made a day. So all of a sudden, more excited for it. There you go.
Yeah. There's a few more in there as well, like Funeral for a Friend. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out a bit closer to the time. So while it ain't for us, we do accept that it might very well be for you. What does your day look like? And more importantly, who should we be checking out? Who from this that we've not mentioned that we don't really know? You're like, listen, go check them out. Particularly early on in the day. Well, actually, from early on to around the middle, around at that time, if you can point out a band that you think, hey, check out Rory. Who the fuck's Rory? But check him out because of this. You know what I mean? Like,
who are you, Rory? And who's the red? And why are they at the kids' table?
The red jumpsuit apparatus. Like, who are these? I don't know these.
Yeah, the other thing I was trying to work out, but again, if anyone knows this, they can tell us this as well. You see right on the Key Club, right down the very, very bottom. Yeah. You have two bands that are. Is that because they might play in either way? It says Beauty Skills / Arm's Length, and then above it Arm's Length / Beauty School, or are they like a split?
It's the times the difference is that if you look, it's quite small. Beauty School S. So Beauty School for us are the first band on.
South and North.
They're swapping over basically. Yeah. So I'm sure there's a reason why. But I think Dan was recommending Beauty School. But we'll see.
Avoid them then.
Yeah, you know what to do. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.